Hi,
What's happening?
how are you? Oh, wait, my screen's a little blurry. Let me wipe it off.
It's all good.
It still looks blurry. Can you see me?
Little blur. I can see you just fine. Can you see me?
I sure can.
All
Why is
right.
it so
That's.
blurry? Brand new iPhone. Okay.
Oh, you good? I don't know. Is it humid out there? Maybe it's the humidity or something
It
like that.
is. It is so hot. It's like
Yeah.
90 something degrees and it's like a little sticky.
That, that could be it right there. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to speak with me. This is the Making Plays Convo. And I always like to ask, how are you and your people doing? How's your daughter doing?
Oh, she's amazing. She's ready for this COVID situation to be over so she can go to the park and turn up. But she's doing great.
I know that's right. Well, you've been making some awesome plays, not just lately, but just throughout your whole career: music, acting, modeling, you're an entrepreneur, financial advisor, and
Yes.
obviously a mother. So you've been doing your thing.
Thank
20,
you.
2020 has been a wild year so far. But what were you working on before things kind of got crazy and started to shut down?
I mean, same things I'm working on now, really. The only difference is I can't, move around as much. And I've
Hmm.
had to put a couple, things on hold, a couple projects I was launching, and other things because businesses have shut down. But I've really picked up momentum on things I already had in the works.
Mm.
Like my cosmetic line, our hair oils are selling like crack cocaine.
Said
Okay.
crack cocaine. I
Don't
love
get it
it.
twisted. When I take this
Yeah.
wig off, the tresses are okay, the tresses. Yeah, so I've like it's been overwhelming but amazing. I've been in the studio a lot, recording a lot. My entire EP plus some is done.
Okay.
I'm so proud of the body of music that I've been putting out. Well, not putting out, that I'm about to put out.
Yes.
Um, and then I've always been into like trading and stocks and bonds, but I have my advisors and just kind of let them do it. So because I've had time to sit at home, I just pretty much taught myself how to invest better than anyone I've ever hired.
Mm.
And in 4 weeks of doing my own investing, I had a bigger return on investment than I had in 4 years of my business manager.
That's amazing right there.
So now it's something that I put into a book that I'm going to be putting out for you guys. And yeah,
Can't
so
wait. Definitely can't wait for that. You got a lot going on. So I want to start. I want to start with the music first. I want to
okay.
start off with the Cappin song that you put out a couple of weeks ago. I think
Yes.
the line off that song is, "I can be your wife, or I can be Lorena Bobby." I was like, okay, then, all right, I'm good. How did that song come about?
So I was in the studio with Cassius, and we were just floating ideas around. And he was like, "What do you want to talk about?" And I like to talk about things that I actually go through and things that happen. And I think at that time, it was some nigga was lying to me about something.
He was ready to cut his shit off, huh?
Yeah, and Cassius being from Atlanta, he's always looking at
Yeah,
that lingo. I
right.
talk very proper. Went to private school. So he's like, "Nah, you got to talk like it, cuz. You know what I mean? You got to talk about that. They put that cap on that rap. They put that cap on that rap."
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I was like, all right, cool. So we're gonna take it a little Atlanta, talk
Right.
about how motherfuckers be capping all the damn time, lying about every motherfucking thing, like everything. So it's just kind of a fun song for the girls, and even guys can get into it because
No,
they be
it's a
capping each
nice
other
song.
too.
It's a dope song.
Thank you, thank you. So I felt like it was something very relatable, especially like amongst all my friends. Like the group chat ain't nothing but girl. Let me tell you what this fool said today. Girl, girl, girl. So, I just wanted a fun record to just kind of
Hmm.
talk about y'all motherfuckers lying.
Now, yeah. Now I think it had been what, about a year and a half since you put out "Takeoff," which is
Yeah,
another dope song, by the way.
thank you.
So what made you decide to start putting out music now at this particular time?
Better producers.
Mm, that is
I
key. I'm glad you said that. I am glad you said that. Production is everything. So,
it's very hard as a female artist
mm,
to get things done without men trying to take advantage of you.
wow.
So I ended up working with, in no shade, I appreciate, all of the producers and things that I've worked with, but I've worked with producers that didn't really know how to create a record, create a sound. Like I
Mm,
would go in and just create a record and then like I didn't know as an artist, it's my job to get a record to like a 7. And when I leave, the producers, they should get it to a 10. I didn't know that.
Right,
I
right, right.
thought I need to do all this work. I've never charted a record before. How do I know what a hit record is? How do I know what's going to be on the charts if I haven't done it? So we have all these artists with record deals that have full teams. They have writing teams, production teams. They have this team, that team.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
all these people that make sure they might be in the studio for a month before they get a single. Whereas, you know, independent artists, we're just going in doing what we can. It's not, look at Britney Spears.
No, you're right.
Like her career went through the roof and she barely sang lead.
No,
So,
that's
you know,
real.
as an artist, I sing my leads, my backgrounds, I write, I do all this stuff, but still, I'm not a producer. So
Right.
I stopped putting out music after Take It Off because I wasn't happy with the production. Once I started working with better producers like Cassius and, you know, Molly Mall and some other producers that you'll see as I start putting out more records that got in there and really stirred up the pot and like helped to create that sound, it just opened up a whole Pandora's box that I was like, this is what I've been waiting for. This is what I've been looking for. And, you know, I've had opportunities to work with a bunch of producers, a lot of bigger producers, but, you know, they either want money that at the time I couldn't afford or other favors that I wasn't about to do.
Wow.
So, you know, now Big Bag Sika, what's it going to cost to clear the record, boo-boo?
So speak on the challenges as an independent female artist, because you're not the first person that has told me stuff like that people will try to get you to the studio for ulterior motives. What are some of the challenges that you have faced?
I mean, sure, you name it. I've experienced it. You know, I was signed very early when I was 18 years old to a very big label, and the CEO of the label, he made it very uncomfortable for me to come to the studio. I was the only female signed to the label at the time. And he would schedule my studio sessions. And mind you, I'm 18, don't know anything about anything.
Right.
He would schedule my sessions so I would be by myself pretty much when the guys weren't working. Then he would like come in the booth, how you doing? And do the shoulder massaging.
Okay.
And you know, you should probably stay at a hotel tonight, get you a massage, like that sort of weird thing. And
yeah.
you know, just they try to push the limits to see what you'll allow. They'll try to get you a little more comfortable and a little more comfortable with going a little further. Then if you turn them down, they don't give a fuck. There's 1,000 more of you. Sit on the shelf. Bye. See you.
So did you find
a lot?
So when you found that you held your ground and you showed that you weren't about that business, that they kind of didn't really like take interest anymore as far as pushing your career?
For 4 years until my record deal period was out.
Damn.
I'm
sorry to hear that. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. So, you know, from 18 to 22, I learned that important lesson. And then, you know, I started just doing things on my own. I joined a pop group. And, you know, the music was great, but the management was not good. And then just kind of started trying to figure it out here and there. And, you know, you have some that are super bold, like, you know, some that would just come flat out and try and just, you know.
Yeah.
And, it's very difficult to have integrity and a dream. So, you know, I want to show people that you can be a 30-year-old artist. That does happen. Like, ideally, yeah, we want to start at 18, 20, whatever it is. Right. But it can still happen, and you can still hold on to your integrity. It may take me a little longer than it took certain people. And you know, everybody's path is different. So there are plenty artists that have had good situations and good management and good contracts where they didn't have to go through any of that. But like when you don't have that team behind you, and then you don't even have to be cute though. That's the thing. Like, okay, these men will try you with a boot and a shoe, limping down the street. So, you know, I just had to wait till I was in the position to pay for all of my own things so that nobody could ever dangle something in front of my face. Like, Oh, damn, you don't want to do this? Well, I was going to pay you 50,000. Oh, that's it? You so cheap.
Wow.
You so cheap.
Yeah, that was awesome, informative, and inspirational right there. So,
Thank you.
nah, keep doing what you're doing on that front. Um,
Thank you.
I saw you on the Thanksgiving episode of Insecure. Congrats
Yes.
on that. I mean, obviously you're no stranger to acting. You've had other roles, but it was still a great look. How'd that come together, and what was the experience like?
I was mad at my agent. I'm not gonna lie to you. I texted my agent. I was like, I need to get an audition for Insecure and such and such. She immediately like sent me back an audition for one line. I was like, what is this? What is this? Why are you sending me a day player? I need a role. She says, well, you should have told me sooner to submit you because all of the reoccurring roles have been casted. Why do I have to tell you to submit me?
Mm,
I shouldn't have to tell you to submit me for Insecure. You didn't feel like I fit that description.
right, right. Mm,
So, it was literally the only two. They only had that and like another day player that, whatever. So I went in for the audition, got the role. They ended up giving me like more lines, more time,
right.
and talking to my agent about bringing me back for
Okay.
more episodes and like expanding upon my character. But what I will say, I've worked on millions of sets, okay,
Right, right, right.
from childhood on. One thing I love about this black set, this HBO set with Issa
Yeah.
Rae, this was the most professional, organized set I've ever been on in my entire life. Every T was crossed, every I was dotted. It was just immaculately handled. It was like it made working a 14-hour day effortless.
Mm,
And yes, it was still 14 hours for those
yeah.
with lines, but like just I commend Issa Rae, I commend HBO. I can't wait to work with them again.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. And you got that new show Pump popping off too.
Yes.
What's that about?
So it's a comedy. It is surrounded by the gym, which is called the gym is called Pump. I'm a
Okay.
patron of the gym, and it's basically talking about all the things that happen in gyms, like behind the scenes, with the this trainer sleeping with this person, and this person leaving the gym to go be famous and losing all their money and coming back, and so it's really like a feel good type of funny story. But like we all, I can't say we all work out, but most of us work out or go to the gym, or we have gone to the gym. You go to
Right.
the gym, you come home. You don't really think about, well, what happens behind the scenes. So it kind of gives you a little funny satirical look at like what goes on behind the scenes at the gyms. It's hilarious. The cast is amazing. It's
Yeah.
well written. We just had our first 6 episodes, and as soon as COVID allows, we're gonna film our next 6.
That sounds hilarious because there are a lot of gym stories and you hear about stuff with trainers and
Yes, yes. It's on Urban Flicks, so make sure you guys download Urban Flicks. It is like the black version of Netflix. You already know we gotta support our people.
we get, especially now. You're right. You're
Yes,
absolutely right. So let's talk about these stocks because, like, I'm also into financial literacy and making sure your credit is good, and especially now that our people, talking about Black people, that we really get on this flexing our economic dollar. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, you probably know we are the biggest consumer spending group, but we need to own more.
yes.
So, what first and foremost, what got you started on this?
Oh, I don't. I don't want to say. um,
It's all good. Give us the edited version.
okay, it's not that. It's just I knew nothing about stocks, bonds, investing, anything like that until Kari's father told me about it. He sat me down and kind of showed me what he does with stocks and investments. And at the
Mm-hmm.
time, he had like invested in like trucking company, and they were like shipping rice, and like he was just explaining like how he made this off of Bitcoin and what I needed to do. And he was talking German. I didn't know what he was talking about.
Right.
And so I was like, can you kind of like, I don't get it. Like, so he's explaining it to me. And then he's telling me like who the people who he hired to like manage his accounts, and he showed me like, okay, so this is what you can do with $2,000 and da da da. He understood it so well at that point, and I didn't. He understood it then like I do now. So he was explaining it to me. He was so excited about it. He was going a mile a minute, and I was like, you would have thought he was speaking German, Greek, Russian. So I didn't really get it, but I got enough to say, okay, I need to do this. So he told me, he hired this person at Morgan Stanley. He hired this person here. He hired that person there. I had the presence of mind to hire the people. So
sure.
His financial advisor, I hired an advisor higher than that. I hired a business manager who ended up fucking me over for 4 years. But I didn't. That's because I didn't know.
Right,
so,
right.
I started my investments and stocks and stuff. I'm looking at the return, and I don't get it. I started my daughter's 529 college plan, my 401k, and all this stuff. Great, I have all that. After 4 years, I'm looking like I'm making a little bit, but like I make more money doing like flipping hair oil.
Right.
So one thing that COVID did was give me the chance to sit down and really go over my books. That's like, I hate math. I dropped out of college on purpose. So it was something that I never had the desire to do. I felt like I got money, I'm gonna hire people to do it.
Right.
I really dug in and started like learning and teaching myself and realizing, oh, you've been misappropriating my funds. You've been making bad investments. Once I took over my own investments, within 4 weeks, I made more than I had in 4 years with my previous business manager. So I realized I'm a college dropout who figured this out.
Right.
And I want my Black and brown people to understand this too. It's not made for us to understand. The terminology is confusing. It's made for old, wrinkled white folks that have been in school for 7,000 years.
Yep.
It's not made for us. And it's the key to wealth is hiding in books. It's hiding in plain sight.
Yeah.
So I decided to put together a workbook planner for the everyday person that doesn't know these words, these terms, or what it is, or how to do it. Something easy so that you can follow this and teach yourself how to build wealth, generational wealth, break those generational curses, and teach your children and their children how to set up like these white folks do.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. One thing I advocate for a lot of people, if you really want to start generational wealth, buy life insurance. Like, God forbid, even if you don't make $1 million or you don't make it, at least your children could have something. But when I talk to a lot of people like that, like life insurance, but I don't think they understand there are actually policies that you can make money off of, or that you can pull money out of.
You can have a living policy.
Exactly.
There's all sorts of things, but that is so important that you said that. Like, the only guarantee in life is death.
That's right.
That's it. There's nothing else guaranteed other than we all gonna die at some point, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we die, as Black families and a lot of white families too, you die and leave burdens. Yeah. You got to figure out how to pay for the casket. You got to figure out how to pay for the funeral. You got to figure out this. You got to figure out that. Then you don't own shit, so you don't leave nothing to the kids.
Right. And God forbid they owe the IRS or some credit or something.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So, I've already bought my I'm talking to my family about this because I want to buy the plot for my whole family.
Right.
The generations to come, when God calls me home, I don't want my daughter or any other children that I have to be sitting here boohooing. Even if, let's say, I'm wealthy, I'm rich, great, I made all this money. Still, it's a burden if it's not done. Like, I don't want them to have to figure out, okay, how are you gonna split up mom's money to pay for this? No, that's already taken care of. That's already done. And then you get a check. Yeah. When God calls me home, I done busted my ass and worked my motherfucking ass off. Y'all gonna get a check, and the beneficiaries, a trust, the all these things that we're not taught. Like, my house, I deeded it in a trust to my daughter. Simply, if you want to, you ain't touching this house. This is my daughter's house.
That's right.
So it's things that we're not taught.
That's right.
That you either have to learn the hard way, or somebody is nice enough to teach you. because
Right.
after I started learning about this stuff, like I said, my daughter's father, he's the first man to ever teach me something on purpose that
Right.
I could actually use that changed my life. And
Mm.
I got pissed at every man I ever dated. Like I date
No,
wealthy
that's
men.
real.
I date very wealthy men, very well off, whether it's from, you know, your career, your drug dealer, your athlete, or whatever it is. You have your 401k, you have your 529 for your kids, you have your investment accounts. Why the
Yeah.
hell did none of y'all tell me shit? Why didn't
Because
y'all
because
show
that would
off your
empower
Chanel bag? Oh, okay.
that would empower you. And I ain't trying to drop game on nobody, but that's what it comes down to
They'll
at the
buy
end
you
of
a
the
Chanel
day.
bag all day with your rent due.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. So when will the workbook be available, and how can people, purchase it or see it?
Well, the book is done. It is being
Okay.
edited and formatted. It will be available within the next 20 days.
Okay.
I have another page called Masika's Rich Bitch Tips, period. So make sure you guys go follow there. I'll post it on my Instagram. I'll post it on that page as well. But I give a lot of free money game on that page, as well as my Twitter. My Twitter be going up, okay? I do a lot of financial literacy advice on Twitter. Of course, Masika Kalysha. And then my website, masikakalysha.com, is where I will be selling the book. And probably Amazon too. We're working that out right now. But again, with this book, this will be your first investment. So it's not going to be cheap. It's not going to be nothing crazy, but it will be an investment. And as you divulge and get into those pages, you'll understand if you invest in this book, your return on investment will be so much greater, and you'll start learning like off the top.
That is awesome right there. And I really
No
salute you
cap.
for that. No cap. I really salute you for that because what I've really been telling people, especially with everything that we've been going through, and I know you've been very vocal on the murder of George Floyd and, fighting for racial injustice. And what I tell people all the time is we have to stay engaged, not only socially, not only politically, but economically as well. And it's not an either or thing. We have to do all three. So you speaking on these things, I think it's exactly what we need at this time. And speaking of which, how do you feel like we can affect change? Obviously, with everything that's been going on in these past couple of weeks, or hell, the past 400 years. But how can we capture this moment and really, really get to the spot, get to the place that we need to be?
You said something very important a couple minutes ago. Is Black people, we spend more money than anybody.
Yeah.
One thing I've learned from childhood, my uncles, my aunts, friends, we're willing to go broke. We'll spend our last,
Yeah.
but we ain't willing to get rich. We don't want to invest our last. Oh, no, no, no. Oh.
Mm.
I got into a heated argument with one of my best friends because I was trading options. I put $2,010 in an Amazon option, and within 7 days, I was up $37,000.
Mm.
And
Speak
I
on it.
literally told her, copy and paste, do exactly this. Because she was like, girl, I finally was able to save $3,000. She was like, well, I can't do that because I got to buy a car. I got to pay for my dentist. I got to this. I got to that. Like, I can't spend my last. I said, are you crazy? I said, you're saying that you're going to spend your last. I'm telling
Yeah.
you to invest some of it, and I'm showing you exactly what I did. Like, this is my account. Like, here it is. Copy and
Yeah.
paste this. Do this, and in a couple days, you'll have $30-something thousand. Like, and because you're doing it after it's peaked, you're gonna have more than me, quicker than me.
Right.
Oh well, girl, I gotta pay $5,000 worth of bills and only got 3,000.
You might as
So
well
right
invest
now,
it.
you're telling me you don't have enough for what you need. I'm telling you to take a portion of what you have to invest it, and you have a surplus to reinvest and pay for what you need and flip it again.
Mm.
It's too risky. That's the mindset that we are born with. That's the
Yeah.
mindset that we get coming from generations of poverty and things like that. I allude to this book. It's called The Miseducation of the Negro.
Mm.
It was written in 1933. One
Mm-hmm.
of my favorite books. In this book, the author teaches about how we are taught a whitewash education. and we're taught this whitewash education in order to diminish our power to control us. Our contribution to society has been egregious. We have built the nation on our backs.
Yes, we have.
If they can teach you from an early age that you did not do that, if they can teach you from an early age that your great-grandfather's grandfather didn't create this, if you never learned about Black Wall Street that was bombed, if you never learned about these things, then they're able to control your mind to think, oh, I can't do that. And then automatically we will take lesser jobs. We will take lesser pay. We will take lesser positions in society because we don't think that we earned it. We worked for it. I used to think people talking about reparations are stupid. No, we deserve every last bit of that.
Absolutely.
Every last bit of that. So as a man thinketh, so is he. In order for this to change, we have to start educating ourselves beyond the curriculum, because that curriculum is George Washington curriculum.
That's right.
Not George Washington Carver curriculum. So we have to educate ourselves as to our history, what we did and how we did it. And then we have to crack open these books that when you open the pages, you hear crickets because we don't look into them and learn these financial terms, educate ourselves on financial literacy. We spend more money than anybody, but we don't keep it. We don't generate it in our own communities. We don't invest it. We don't save it. We spend it. We spend it. I know people that I told my boyfriend the other day, he bought me some beautiful jewelry for my birthday. But, you know, I told him, like, he was buying a bunch of pieces. We were at the jeweler, and I was like, babe, I know you're not about to buy more pieces before you buy this house in LA. Right. Because, you know, he's from Houston. He has a lot of properties there. And he just looked at me like, yeah, you're right. Like, that who are you trying to impress? Like, no, that's real. We have to own. We have to own. That is the way out. Financial literacy, economic freedom. That is the way out. They're never going to respect us as long as they feel like they can pay us a token to go away. Absolutely. And it's bigger than that. Like, why are all of these cops murdering Black people in broad daylight and going home? Because the district attorney and the DA is on payroll, and they go home and eat a nasty ass ham sandwich and shucking, what is it? Tobacco. Yeah. We need to create our own network to where we can appoint our own mayors and our own DAs and our own people on our payroll, because we have that money. We have that power. So the next time something like this happens, God forbid, knock on wood, that's a Black DA in the office. Yep. That's a Black district attorney in the office, because we have the political party. We as Democrats were able to fund the campaign. That's right. Donald Trump spent $617 billion on his campaign. I just donated some small change to Joe Biden's campaign. Joe Biden's still asking for donations. You get it? No, Trump is in office because of the money behind him in Russia and Florida and Putin. Yeah. I tell people all the time, like, if you really want to get access to these politicians, it's money. It's economics. Money. It's these super PACs. It's money. And that's how you get laws to get changed for you in our favor, or whatever you're going for. That's why stuff doesn't really change, because the people that have the money are the ones with the access. Exactly. But you notice Jay-Z was able to get the governor of Minnesota on the phone. Why? Because he has access. Exactly. And you are preaching. And the attorney a private jet to take care of that business. Absolutely. We don't take care of our people like that. If more of this was happening, if we started to shift the wealth and shift the power, all of this would change. And I have people tell me all the time, girl, well, I'm not in the position that you're in, and I don't have the money. Did you think I was born this way? I slept in my car. I slept in hotels. I didn't even have a car to sleep in. I've been homeless. I went walking down the street with nothing and didn't know how I was going to do it, but I figured it out. Yeah. And, like, people tell me, oh, I don't have any money to invest. Do you have Netflix? Do you have Hulu? Do you Uber Eats? Do you go to McDonald's? You have money to invest. Cancel those subscriptions and start with what you have.
That's
I don't
right.
want to hear nothing. If you don't grow your own food and live in a rural community that you're generating all your own stuff, you have money. You have money to invest. You're blowing it on dumb shit.
So real. Somebody once told me, I think it was in Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's not how much money you make; it's how much money you spend.
You know what's the crazy thing about that book? So Robert Kiyosaki, how do you say his name?
I don't know, but I know what
Whatever.
you're talking about.
The
Yeah,
author of the book.
the author of the book.
Do you know why he wrote the title Rich Dad Poor Dad?
Well, I did read the book, so I understand. Like he had his actual biological father was the poor dad, and then his best friend's father was the rich dad. But it was crazy because his poor dad was actually more educated, but he worked by the world system and stuff. And his rich dad was the one that was investing in assets, had multiple streams of income and stuff like that. So listen, I think it's a book that everybody should read, especially our people, because it will really change your way of thinking. So a lot of the stuff that you were talking about, like not going according to the educational system, but learning how not only to create wealth, but to make money work for you. So
Exactly.
I'm a fan of the book.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a great book.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I know you looking like you got to wrap it up,
Oh,
man.
I'm
This
at
has
the
been
studio. Always working. Always working.
it's all good. Now, this has been a awesome conversation, and like I love what you're doing on all fronts. I want to wrap it up with this question right here.
You know what's
Obviously,
crazy? You
what's that?
notice we had almost 7,000 people. When I started talking about money, it dropped down. They like
You know,
that. They don't want to learn.
but that's the thing. Like
We had almost 7,000 people in here.
with my platform, you know, I get it. People want to hear the gossip and all the dirt and all that stuff. But like I call it the Making Plays Convo because I want people to understand and get the mindset of people like you, artists like you, that have stuff going on outside of music or outside of what they see on TV. Like, how are you investing your money? What businesses are you creating for yourself that if you decide like, hey, I don't want to be on TV, I don't want to do this ever again, I'll be good. You know what I'm
You
saying?
know,
So
every last
that's
one of my castmates and even people from other franchises. Girl, you quitting? How you going? I can't believe what you gonna do. And I look at them like, what are you gonna do? This is all you got?
yeah,
Like these type of shows are stepping stones. They're
right.
platforms for you to perform on, to sell whatever you have on, to do your best. A stepping stone is meant to be stepped over. You're supposed to move on from it, not stay
Yep.
on top of it and stay here. Because again, it's so terrible. These white networks take black people and exploit them.
Yep.
These white producers and even the black ones, the Mona Scotts of it, and like they're exploiting us, making us look like coons and dumbasses and idiots. And then we sign these 52-page contracts. We don't know what's in it because we don't have the good attorneys, or we
Yeah.
don't know, you know. And
Yeah.
then, like before you know it, you didn't shucked and jived for 8 seasons, and
Yeah.
nobody takes you serious. So nobody wants to hear your damn music. Nobody wants to
Yeah.
cast you for anything. So I tried to quit before I even was able to. Went to 3 attorneys till I could find the 4th one that got me out my contract. And to this day, people, girl, you should go back. Don't wish that on me. Don't wish that on me. I served my time, and it served its purpose, and I'm appreciative of everything it did for me. But I had to go.
No, that's real.
Had to go.
Before my last question, before I forget this, if you ever have any of those stock tips that you want to give out to your friends and they ain't listen, DM me
I
because I
got
will
you.
listen
I
and
got a ton of them.
and I will invest
I
because
got you.
I have the same mindset as you. So please, I'm no cap.
I
I'm dead
got you.
serious because
Cappin!
I would have put that $2,000 down so damn quick.
Listen,
You know, but
it really made me so mad, but then I realized we gotta train our minds. Broke is not a dollar amount, it's a mindset.
it is a mindset. Totally with you on that. So my last question, because I know you got to get back to work. 2020 has obviously been a challenging year for so many, but it's also been a year of self-reflection. I know I've
Hey
self-reflected on a
mama,
lot of
my mama's
stuff.
in here.
Hey, mama. Is there anything that you realized about yourself or just life in general during this period of time with everything that we've been going through?
I don't know if I would say realized. I don't think like I had a big epiphany.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I think I don't give myself enough credit for everything that I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe I would say that. My mom's in here and it's her birthday. Happy birthday, Mom!
Oh, happy birthday, Mama.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Hey! Love you, Mom. Yeah, so I would just, you know, yeah, again, I don't think it's something that I learned new, but I did, kind of wake up dormant areas and tap into things I knew I could do, but just didn't want to do, or, so,
Yeah.
and I also already knew this, but I realized I really need to build a much better team, because
Mm.
much of the brunt of the work that I delegate has fallen on me.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I have seen is most of my girlfriends during this COVID situation have opened up new businesses, new
Right.
ventures, literally, like most of my girlfriends, like business savvy, making all types of money. A lot of dudes I know just sitting at home twiddling their thumbs like, when is this gonna be over?
Yeah. Yeah.
So man, you gotta step
You're
it
right.
up. Step it on up.
Nah, that's real. That's real. Well, I've really enjoyed this conversation. I've learned a lot. I've been inspired myself. Like I said, send those tips
I
anytime you
got you.
get. I'm putting my money where you putting your money at. And when things really open up, if you get down to Atlanta, come through to the Pandora
Oh,
office so we
definitely.
could we
I'm
could
actually
chop it
supposed to
up
be in
in
Atlanta
person.
now for my mom's birthday, but I don't think it was a good idea to put my daughter on the plane yet. So I'll be in Atlanta soon.
Okay, well, definitely holler at me. Your PR person can connect us and keep doing what you're doing. We need more people like you
Thank
that are talking
you.
about financial literacy and economic power for real.
Thank you. Make sure y'all stream Cappin. It's on
Yes,
all platforms. Pandora,
yes. Go to your
Spotify.
radio station on Pandora.
Yeah. Oh, what'd you say?
Yes, I said they need to go to your radio station on Pandora.
Yes. Let's set that up.
Yes, not a problem.
All
Already
right.
done.
So make sure y'all check out Cappin. My lyric video is available on YouTube now. The behind the scenes video will be out either tonight or tomorrow. And then the official music video will be on my YouTube on Friday. And I have a arsenal of music that I'm going to be releasing. So make sure y'all stay tuned. Follow Masika's Rich Bitch Tips if you want to get rich like
Yes.
this bitch, because period. And yeah, I love you guys and thanks for your time.
No, appreciate you, and we definitely gonna support. Thank you.
I started buying stocks because of Masika. You better. Come on,
Yeah.
girl. I love it.
Have a good night. Be safe.
Thanks. Bye-bye.